Alright, here we go. Welcome back to part 2 of World of Warcraft, the Warlock Journal. Today's recording is being recorded on the 30th of August, 2018, 1:22 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. The footage was shot on the 19th of August, 2018. This tempo becomes, I think, important later on. I don't know how. I suspect, as I've read a lot of the books that come after this point of the game, but from a game lore, I haven't actually experienced it in the game, so I believe I know where it's leading to. Says bottle toads. Have you heard? Scoop toad eggs from 8 girlings. Obviously, I didn't leave myself enough time to read that.
What do you need? White Tiger watch over you.
Apparently, I had to take a moment to think about things. But here in Florida, in the real world, in real life, it's actually taken a couple days to get to part 2. I had to work a lot, and it's been stormy a lot here. We've been streaming on a good pace, but this week it's been raining. It starts about 4 o'clock in the afternoon and lasts till about 9 o'clock at night, which is during the week. That's when I like to stream, because you can catch from 5 o'clock all the way till about 8 o'clock. You can catch all the European people, British people, East Coast United States, and all the West Coast people are starting to get home. It's in their afternoon for them. And then gradually end the day by playing World of Warcraft, and then catching up on other people's streams. So I personally don't like to stream when it's lightning outside, because the equipment for the studio is very expensive. And, I don't want to get it destroyed. I think it's better sound advice to just skip the stream and come back a better day when the weather's more cooperative. So I decided to dedicate the day catching up on videos. As of now, our video queue is all the way up to, let's see, we're up to the 29th. Of August. Last day we captured videos. So we're about 8 days behind. Backlogged. However, the last day we shot footage was a Sunday night, so that would have been the second Old Quest night. Sunday definitely is going to be our official alt night stream. Even though this is my main character. Technically playing it as an alt. Yesterday I rolled up, before I went to work, I rolled up a rogue and I rolled up a mage on the Moonguard server, which I'm gonna kind of use those as days I'm not recording. I have a lot of times when I have free time, I don't really want to record, or and I don't want to, because this character in Lurch Manos, they're pretty much tied to the video series. So I don't want to advance them any longer than what I could record. So I decided to go ahead and make a couple alts. The two are all Forsaken. And then I deleted some alts yesterday too, but pretty much going to make Dalaran and Moonguard my Forsaken Horde servers. Although on Moonguard, since it's a roleplay server, I do have Alliance characters on there. But Fine Risk server is pretty much where all my Alliance characters are. But I haven't really played Rogue or Warrior or Mage. And those are kind of like basic, I feel they're like the basic classes for the main lore. Kind of like Warlock. Going all the way back to the beginning. Those are like your main class. If you play many role-playing games, those are pretty the big ones. So it'd be kind of nice to see the game from that perspective. Also, as I've been walking around in war mode, I keep getting ganked by rogues. So I figure if I play one, I would learn how they are tactically in the game, and be able to devise strategies to defend against it. That's my theory, anyway. One thing that I always have liked about World of Warcraft over the years is that each class kind of has its own specific mechanic, the way they work. I would say in the last couple years, some of the classes have they try to make all the mechanics very similar, which I don't know if they've ceased doing that or they've slowed down doing that type of mechanic, but I certainly appreciated when the game first came out that each class had its own specific mechanics. And because I think that goes to learning the character and learning the role that you play in the world. And, part of that is when you get into more difficult content, the people who are playing it are kind of experts in their class. They know the everyday ins and out of the class, that only really comes from playing the class over a long period of time and seeing it in different ways. So I feel that back when each specific class had their own sort of mechanic, it made for a better game experience. At least from a role player perspective, I think it made for a better experience. Those of you that have been following along the series here, or new to the series, we're playing a little bit slower than what other people are, but I don't even think our speed is that much slower. I would say the correct adjective here would be that we're moving in shorter intervals, since we only record about an hour a day. So at this point in the footage, we're up to what, the 19th of August. The game came out on the 13th. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That's what, 7 days, almost a week. And the first 2 days, I think the first video was like 3 hours long. The second video was about 2 hours. That's about 5 hours of gameplay. And then the third video was only 15 minutes long. 60 minutes long. And then each video after that was an hour, which is broken down into 2 half-hour intervals. So
Goodbye.
it's what, 3, 5, 6, just a little over 6 hours of gameplay. So I think overall, going all the way to the last footage we shot, which was Sunday night, the 28th of August. The rest of those are all only hour-long footage, so it's what, 2 more days. Six more days of footage. So about 6 hours. It's at 12 and a half hours of actual footage of gameplay, so I think we're moving on at it. Even though we're taking our time, we're moving on at a pretty good pace. It looks like we're coming up to the last stages of the Zandalari, the main area, which is the area that we started in. But I think from the video, from the series point of view, I think everything's turned out really good. One of the great things about World of Warcraft is the world is so massive. Even if you have characters at the I guess I'm gonna go in terms of levels at the 120 level, tied in with the BFA stuff. Those of you that are just starting in the game, you shouldn't feel like there should be a need to rush through the game. There's a lot of content. You got like 5 expansions to go. Now, myself, I like these part of the game where we're questing, we're going out and meeting people in the environment, we're doing jobs for them, gaining experience, gaining reputation, and making money on the side. And for myself, it's a lot of fun. Gives you a chance to learn your craft. One of the things that they did in BFA is they redesigned the professions. Guess they're tied to the areas now, and they scale to the area. So, so now when you look at the the progression, it goes by like classic, Burning Crusade, or Outland, Northrend, Cataclysm, and then Pandaria. It goes by whatever the expansion was. I guess it's 75 points, 75 intervals for each tier. It's kind of cool. One of the things that was bad in the game, I think, was before they changed the progression system recently. You would like go through the classic part and you get all your professions built up, but by the time you get over the Burning Crusades, um, you kind of out level the area. Once you get into like 90 and stuff, you were just, the character's level is beyond what the zone is designed, and especially from a profession point of view, it's so you would go long periods of time where you wouldn't really be doing any progression with your professions. I don't think I'm going to be recording my rogue or my mage's progressions. I'm gonna wait till we can actually stream that. Or get a new hard drive. Because it takes a lot of memory to record the footage. And I don't want to run out of hard drive space. I think I'm gonna dedicate a hard drive just for the purpose of capturing footage and processing videos. I should probably just get a server for just that purpose. So I can just keep adding hard drives to it.
Welcome. There is no hurry.
Well, continuing on, here's a new area. Half Hill. Just wander around, see who's giving quests. One thing that I've learned in this area thus far is the rodents are kind of little mean little rodents. One thing about recording in the daytime is there's a lot more noise around, so it's harder to record. You never know when someone's gonna start yelling, or the next door neighbor is gonna go fire up their lawnmower, which can hinder your recording time. Or it leads to a lot of editing out of unnecessary sounds. I'm hoping that this room used to be back in a long time ago. It used to be the carport, but it was closed in to make it into a room. So the interior walls are concrete. But so when you shut the doors and with the new windows that we have, the seals are pretty good. That they insulate from outside noise pretty well. So I'm hoping by turning on a couple fans and keeping them at low, one, it ventilates the room, but two, it should act as a filtering mechanism for background noise. As long as they're not sharp and very dynamic sounds, it should do a good job of masking out most of the background noise. I don't remember exactly why I paused on this hill, but might have had to go to the bathroom or something. I like to sightsee. Might be too because I'm watching someone stream. The way I have the studio set up, although I can play the game on my main display, on the couple of the side displays in the main big, basically TV, it's I can watch 3 other streams going on at the same time.
Next one is on me.
This guy's tied into a fishing quest here. One of the best things about the Forsaken, if you don't play a Forsaken, is they don't need to breathe. So you can just jump in a lake and just go on in there. Just grab a fish. At first I didn't really understand what the instructions wanted us to do. Because the instructions seemed to just go and just grab the fish out of it, but that wasn't really working, so I kind of threw my fishing rod out there. In the game, I fish a lot, so very familiar with the mechanic. And then, see, so just to jump in there and click on it, but that wasn't getting me anywhere. So I said, let's go see if I could do it from the boat. Nope. That wasn't having it. I decided to read the directions again. Maybe I missed something important. Does kind of suck because I put all my lures in the bank, so I don't have any of my good fishing lures with me. I didn't want to walk all the way back to the bank. Tiger. Is that Goros? Gourmet?
Greetings, wanderer.
See, that's why the mission though is called no fishing pole necessary, but then you had to use your fishing pole to get the stuff out.
There is no hurry.
Coming up on the last 10-13 minutes of the video here. Got a long ways to go. Long ways to go. Look at that map. Unexplored areas. When you're walking around as a horde character, you gotta be careful because Alliance likes to gank you when you're like
Hello.
talking to someone, trying to read something important. That's when they like to sneak up on you and knife you in the back. Those despicable Alliance. They're supposed to be the ones with honor. And then they're stabbing you in the back. Yeah.
May the mists protect you.
I think this next one we had to capture these eggs. Is that what happened? Oh, this is the one we had to deliver these things to all these guys. I think there were 3 of them. I had to be careful. I see some Alliance guys walking around. I gotta kind of plot my way to jump in there, get in and get out.
How are you?
There's one right there on the right. Wish if they gank you, they would gank you. They would let you at least finish reading the paragraph where they gank you.
Safe travels.
Well, coming up to the end of the video. Hope you enjoy the adventure. We'll be back in the next part. See you then. Have fun. Enjoy your day. Like, comment, or subscribe. As we turn into the innkeeper here.